The plot. For our storyline, we decided to begin with the protagonist being kidnapped and tied up in a basement due to them hiding a large amount of money. The antagonists then make a dramatic exit to attend to their other affairs, leaving the protagonist with the perfect opportunity to escape. She drags herself across the room on the chair that she is tied to, before eventually being able to free her hands using a nail from the wall. She will escape and run through the house and out of the door in desperate attempt of survival. The protagonist will come across an abandoned barn where she will hide. Meanwhile, the antagonists arrive back at the basement to find the protagonist missing. This evokes a large amount of anger, and they soon go on in search of the girl. The protagonist eventually settles behind an old tyre and can hear the kidnappers approaching. To add tension to this scene, we are going to incorporate diegetic sound of breathing. The antagonists will then enter the barn, see the girl, and throw her over their shoulders in rage, before exiting the barn and walking out into the yard in which a car is parked. The protagonist will then be thrown into the boot and the scene ends.
Characters. We have decided to have three main characters in our thriller film opening: the kidnappers, both of the antagonists, and the girl being kidnapped, the protagonist. We decided that the kidnapper should be male, as this is the stereotypical conventional role for a thriller film, and the person being kidnapped should be female, as they are stereotypically viewed as more vulnerable and will be favoured by the audience. We had a number of different ideas as to who we could use to play these characters. After writing the script, we asked a few people to read lines, and eventually made a decision of who the characters would be best suited to. We decided to have Megan play the female, as she could best portray the character's personality, and Jack and Ben to play the males, as they had a threatening look and have good acting skills.
Costume. We decided to have the protagonist wearing casual clothing, as this is the most realistic thing she would be wearing if she was kidnapped. We came to the conclusion that a hoodie with leggings and with trainers would be the most suitable approach. We will use other elements of mise-en-scène and costume by putting dark makeup and fake blood on her face so that she appears beaten. Along with this, we are going to apply fake blood to the antagonist's knuckles so that it is realistic. For the two males, we decided to have them wearing all black, as this gives connotations of evil and alerts the audience that they are the antagonists. As well as this, we are going to use balaclavas, as only being able to see their eyes and not their whole face makes them appear more threatening and sinister to the audience, adding to the overall thrill. When we experimented with lighting, we found that the dark clothing worked well with the lighting and casted shadows, adding tension to the scene. Both of these costumes are typical conventions of a thriller film and serve to add to the overall entertainment for the audience.
Lighting. After coming to the conclusion that it was too dark to film in the forest due to the lack of lighting and unfortunate weather, we decided to film in the barn instead. This would be useful as we have a different range of lighting options that will work much better with our camera shots. For the basement, we're going to turn out the lights and block a small window that lets the light in. This will allow us to make our own decisions about where the light comes from. We're going to use the light ring mounted on the camera to make the basement shots brighter, and we will place torches around the room to add light to important areas such as the protagonist's face. We're going to make the protagonist's face brighter than the antagonist's face, and this will help portray different personalities. For the outside shots, we're going to film at the perfect time of day, roughly 4 PM, so that it will not be too bright or too dark to film. This will mean that we will not need to use any artificial lighting. For our shots in the barn, we're going to be using 2 floodlights, a light ring and torches. The floodlights will either be positioned in the corners of the room or moved between shots. This will allow us to keep the actors visible at all times.